Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here, and today we're going to touch upon one of my side topics that I cover rarely more than once a week and sometimes only a couple times a month or less, but it got highlighted in the training world news this morning, so let's talk about that. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. So, the natural and drug-free physique competitor and fitness model Rob Riches tested positive for a drug test yesterday. So if you guys watch my video about fitness models, I'm going to make this video a response to it, so it should be down below, easy for you guys to find, and you guys can see what I've said about top-level fitness models in the past, which would include people like Rob Riches. So it makes sense that the majority of them, if not all of them, who are really making a good living in that industry are on a few different drugs. It's almost mandatory in the competitive environment they are in. So you've got that to consider when looking at this individual. But people will ask me as well, if this guy has been doing this for so long, how in the hell is he failing a drug test? He's got lots of practice at it. Well, as someone who has helped athletes with their drug tests, who have much harder drug tests than any bodybuilding or physique competitor will ever have to go through, because in all honesty, you have to fuck up really bad to fail one of those. I could personally run 5 grams of gear, HGH, and insulin year-round, 364 fucking days a year, and I could pass that drug test with flying colors, because I have an IQ higher than 80, and I wouldn't put something into my body if I was going to be a tested athlete unless I was 100% sure of what it was. However, a lot of these guys are stupid, or they buy black market drugs that are made in underground labs instead of sticking to 100% human pharmaceutical grade drugs. Or they'll go with some company like Alpha Pharma that has marketed itself as pharmacy, but it's not really an actual pharmacy, it's just underground lab. And here's the problem you run into. And this is what happens. Most of these guys, and even guys like Rob Riches, they're not on just 1 or 2 drugs. They don't do that well in their sport or in their fitness modeling on 2 drugs. So prepping for that show, it would be reasonable, and anyone who's worked around this industry knows this, they're generally going to use 6, 7, 8, 9 different drugs in that prep. Now, if those drugs are mostly black market, out of that 8 you're taking, maybe 5 or 6 of them are actually what you think they are. And a couple of them may not be. Now, if they have similar clearance times for your system and for the metabolites that they leave for a drug test, then no biggie. But if 1 or 2 of those happens to be a drug to where the metabolites will show up in either blood or urine 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, longer than the drug you thought it was, the very similar drug, then guess what? You're going to have some problems. In case in point, T-Bol is very, very good. We know T-Bol will clear almost always within 72 hours for a drug test. It's a very good hardening drug pre-contest, so you could technically run it up until 3 to 4 days before your show and come off of it, or even a week. And maybe even include some HGH with it and cut the HGH out the day before the show, and you'll come up clean on your drug test. No problem whatsoever. No chance you're going to fail. However, a lot of the T-Bol on the market is actually Winstrol. Winstrol takes about 3 weeks, 2 weeks at the best, but up to 3 weeks to clear for a drug test. So if you're taking T-Bol that's actually Winstrol that you bought on the black market because it's not a pharmaceutical grade compound, then you're going to fail your drug test for Winstrol, even though as far as you knew, you never took Winstrol. And that is usually what gets people. And it's the same with the growth hormone. A lot of the growth hormone, which you actually have to test somebody on the same day they injected their growth hormone in order to catch them for it. So most guys cut their growth hormone out the day before they're going to get tested. Or if they get tested late at night, they can still pop it in the morning and they'll be okay for an evening show. They'll still pass the test. But a lot of the HGH on the market is fake, and it's actually HCG. And if you shot HCG the day before a drug test thinking it was HGH, you're going to test positive for HCG even though you weren't using any as far as you knew. So this is what happens, and this is how guys will occasionally fail these drug tests, and that's why you'll see things like that. If you see guys getting popped for things like Winstrol, you know they were taking another oral that was a faster clearing one that they thought was Winstrol. If you see them get popped for HCG, they were probably taking HGH that was fake and was actually HCG. So that's usually the case there. Now, I haven't seen the reports yet as to what specifically Rob Richards tested positive for, but when I know, I'll let you guys know probably what went wrong with his drug testing. So I hope this has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.